Good day, drivers. So today I have a 2010 Mazda 6 here with me, and I'm going to show you how to check your wires and plugs. So the first thing you want to do is remove the top for clearance. There's no screw on these, so just lift it up. Then you get to see everything, basically. Brush it off a little bit. Make sure you can see clearance. So these are your plugs. It's 4 cylinders, 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually on most cars it's gonna be like this, especially on a 4 cylinders. These are plugs instead of wires. It's I mean, when I mean plugs, you know what I mean. Ignition coil. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you want to do first is remove the electronic plug itself. But the most important thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the negative side of the battery before I do that. Negative side of the battery, I'm gonna remove this plug just for safety. I'm just gonna remove the negative side of the battery. So first, we're gonna remove this ignition coil first. Before we remove this, you got a screw right here, and you're gonna need a 10 millimeter deep socket, not 10, 8 millimeter deep socket. All right, usually they're 10, but this one need 8. So we're gonna move this one first. But before we move it, we're gonna just disconnect the wire. You gotta press it down first, and then take your time, take it out. Make sure you put down this safe because you're gonna need this back for the ignition coil. And this is what it looked like. My one having a little bit of oil, so most likely when you see a little oil like this, you're gonna need to change a valve cover gasket soon. Valve cover gasket is this. Alright. But now we're just gonna pay attention to checking the plug. Just wipe it off either way. So next you're gonna need one of these. These are for check ignition coil, wiring and all these things. Plug. I'm gonna check the plug and just to make sure everything is good. Make sure the plug is firing properly. Okay, so you could get one of these from you could get one of these from AutoZone. That's how it looks. Okay, so this part gonna go right in. This part gonna go right in the plug inside the engine. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Okay. So before I check the plug, make sure everything is spark. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take out the plug. Get an extension like this, and I think this is what 5/8. Yeah, 5/8, 60 millimeter. But usually you could get it. I think maybe this should be somewhere around 15, 60 millimeter. So I'm gonna take out the plug first, and just to see if I really need to change the plug. But I'm just gonna check it first, just to make sure. Sometimes it's kind of hard to come out, so you just gotta take your time. So this one's kind of hard to come out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna check it regularly. Sometimes if it's really hard to come out, is that it's been in the car for a while. So if you know you're not gonna change it, don't just take it out if you don't have plugs on you. Because what's gonna happen is either you're gonna break part of it, and then you gotta, try to find somewhere to take it out. So I will just leave it for now until next time. Make sure you're gonna change all plugs. Make sure you have those plugs on you. So I'm gonna show you what the plug look like if I was gonna take it out. So you see that's the plug. Okay, that's how the plug look like. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna put this piece over the plug just to check it. You make sure you push it, make sure the iron piece connect properly until you feel. Make sure the iron piece connect properly and use a rubber piece to cover it up. Okay. Once you do that, you gotta make sure this, remember the ignition coil, put the ignition coil over this like this. Put it over it like that. So I don't have much space with this with the number 1 coil. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect this first. Connect this first. It'll take time. You gotta press it. Okay, yeah, you gotta press it when you when you push it in. You gotta press it back. Press it to bring it out, and press it to connect it back. So it's kind of really not much space. I gotta take my time. Try to get a good connection. So right now I'm gonna turn on the vehicle. If I don't see any spark, in between there, no, like firing in between this screwdriver connection, that means this plug is very bad. Okay, so right now I'm gonna connect back the battery, turn on the vehicle, and show you that's the way to test our ignition coil with the wire. Hope you can see. See that spark right there? That means your coil is good. Yeah, so that's the way you check coil with the ignition. An ignition coil with the wire, the plug with the wire, just to make sure. That means this is good, which is your ignition coil, and your plug is good. Okay, sometimes usually I still change the plug because it's time, so you just change it. But when I change the plug, I rather just do everything. But I only do this unless you're having a misfiring. So if you have a number one misfiring, usually you gotta check this first. Go ahead with the 2, 3, and 4. Okay, because all plugs represent each cylinder. All right, so that's it. So thank you, and I hope you learned something. Feel free to comment, ask any question. Okay, so have a blessed day. If you're interested, just hit the bell for notification. Thank you.